Min Chau, Le Cong Vinh. And there was the Quang Hai has pulled Le Cong Vinh through. Le Cong Vinh for Vietnam, and they've scored! And it's Quang Hai with 16 minutes to go. What a substitution from Callisto. Vietnam have the lead.
And look at the Vietnam contingent celebrate with absolute joy. Vietnam doing what they do best. They've been starved of opportunities going forward. But it's the movement, it's the one-touch football. And that substitution, Quang Hai, it was Le Cong Vinh, and we talked about how quiet he has been. Rode the challenge from Ismail Younes. Ismail Younes getting caught out of position. Le Cong Vinh, look at the balance and the poise of Le Cong Vinh right here. Plays into the path of Quang Hai, draws out Lionel Lewis. Daniel Bennett battling to try and come over to provide a challenge on Quang Hai. It's that man there, Le Cong Vinh. The balance, the poise, the vision to play it into the box. And Vietnam, 1-0 up away from home.
Le Cong Vinh has yet to score in this tournament, but that is as good as a goal, and now Singapore have got it all to do and only 14 minutes to do it.
In defence, Henrik Callisto has had plenty of time for preparation with his side, and it really has paid dividends in this tournament.
And Vietnam have won. They have won at Singapore by 1-0. Henrik Callisto is mobbed. The players are going absolutely bonkers because a 76-minute goal from Quang Hai has brought them a place in the final against Thailand. Two terrific cup ties. Vietnam coming out on top. PJ Roberts, the celebrations tell you that they are thrilled to bits.
They certainly are, and they deserve this victory. Singapore undefeated for 21 games in this tournament, to go to the National Stadium in Singapore and defeat the reigning champions 1-0 away from home. They thoroughly deserve that. And look at the joy. A little bit of quality from Quang Hai coming off the bench, Le Cong Vinh. But their key to their success in this leg of this semi-final has been their defensive makeup, and they have been solid and resolute.
Singapore trudge off the field, disappointed. This is the last match at the National Stadium, and it's ended in defeat for Singapore by 1-0. A terrific contest, Singapore giving it their all, but Vietnam withstanding all the pressure that Singapore could put on them and coming out with a 1-0 victory. Quang Hai's goal. Looking quickly forward to the final, live on Star Sports. Thailand versus Vietnam, PJ?
I know one thing from that, we are in for an absolute football extravaganza. Two very, very solid teams defensively. Two teams that can provide lots of attacking impetus as well. It is going to be an outstanding final.
AFF Suzuki Cup final live on Star Sports. First leg on the 24th. It will be Thailand versus Vietnam. The second leg on December the 28th, the return in Hanoi. And we say in Hanoi because Vietnam have produced a terrific performance, an excellent result, a 1-0 victory at the National Stadium in Singapore. It is Vietnam who will be in their first final since 1998. As we look at some of the highlights of the contest, Indra Shardan came on as a second-half substitute and had a couple of openings. That one flying just wide, but the all-important goal when it came the way of Vietnam. Quang Hai. Singapore with, again, Indra going close.
Indra coming on, he did partner up with Nur Alam Shah quite well, just playing off the shoulder of Nur Alam Shah. Really struggled for any true clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities, though.
At the other end, Bahakit Kazon floating one just wide. It was pressure, 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 but the two centre-backs, Nu Tan and Phuoc Tu, were in imperious form for Vietnam.
They certainly were, Des. They were so impressive. And here's the goal. Le Cong Vinh riding the challenge of Ismail Younes. Quang Hai beating Daniel Bennett to the ball. It was that little player right there who really was the difference when he came on. Look at the passion and the joy, but look at Le Cong Vinh ride the challenge here. The balance, the poise, then the vision to draw out Lionel Lewis in goal, playing in the path of Quang Hai. It was that little bit of brilliance from those two Vietnamese players that really was the difference.
And that was the only goal of the game. It was the only goal of the 2 legs. But that shows what it means to the Vietnamese fans. They are in the Suzuki Cup final. They face Thailand from PJ Robertson, Des Corkill, and the whole team. Good night.